Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button. The soft hum of the lights above Studio 67 filled the room with its familiar, almost comforting buzz, a background rhythm Kelly Ripa had known for over 2 decades. Every corner of the studio felt like home, the squeak of her chair, the faint aroma of coffee drifting from the kitchen, the quiet murmurs of producers adjusting headsets. Yet that morning, something felt different. The usual energy was muted, and even Mark Consuelos, her husband and co-host, seemed distant. His eyes carried a weight Kelly hadn't seen in years, a quiet exhaustion that went beyond tiredness. "Everything okay?" she asked, her voice steady despite the knot in her chest. Mark offered a small, rehearsed smile. "I'm fine. Let's just get through the show." Even as she nodded, Kelly felt the tension tighten around her chest, an unspoken prelude to the moment about to unfold. "Set countdown." The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. And the familiar theme music swelled as the studio audience erupted in applause. Kelly slipped into her seat, her smile bright and practiced, while Mark prepared to deliver his usual cheerful energy. "Good morning, everybody," she said, her voice carrying over the microphones. Mark added his greeting, but his tone lacked its usual sparkle, stiff and distracted. Kelly noticed the tremor in his hands, the slight hesitation in his posture. She knew him too well not to see it. After nearly 30 years together, silence spoke louder than words. As they moved through the first stories, Mark stumbled over his lines, an unusual slip that revealed his preoccupied mind. Kelly's instincts flared. She reached out during the commercial break, touching his arm gently. "Talk to me," she whispered. "You're scaring me." The confession time pressed forward and the cameras returned before Mark could speak. As Kelly began reading the cue cards for the next segment, he gently took the card from her hand. Her breath caught, sensing the weight of the moment. "Kelly," he began, his voice tight, drawing immediate attention even from the studio audience. "I didn't want it to happen this way, but I can't keep pretending everything is normal. Today will be my last day on live." Shock rippled through her, a gasp almost audible across the studio. The polished veneer of morning television cracked, replaced by raw, unexpected truth. Kelly felt the tears well up, emotions she had long contained now rising unbidden, and she whispered, voice trembling, "You're quitting?" Mark nodded, voice firm but soft, explaining he had made a final decision to step away, driven by a need to focus on family and personal priorities. Shared pain and understanding. The room seemed to hold its breath as Kelly processed his words. Mark explained his exhaustion, the struggles he had been carrying silently, the worry over his father's health, the impossible balancing act between life and career, the moments he felt he was missing what mattered most. Kelly's heart ached with empathy, the pain of recognition mingling with the shock of public revelation. She knew his absence would leave a gap, yet she understood the gravity of his choice. They had built their careers side by side, yet this was a reminder that even the strongest partnerships required space and honesty. Mark's words were a quiet lightning strike, illuminating the vulnerability beneath the professional facade. In that moment, Kelly's tears came freely, a mix of sorrow, love, and acceptance that transformed the studio into a space of profound human truth. A moment of intimacy on air. Mark reached out, wrapping his arms around her, whispering apologies into her hair. Kelly returned the embrace, realizing the cameras captured more than a performance. They recorded an authentic, unscripted expression of love and connection. "We're a team," she choked, words raw and unpolished. "Everything we've done side by side." Mark nodded, affirmation soft but unwavering. "I love you for it, but I can't be the co-host you need right now. I need to be with my family." Their closeness was quiet but palpable, a reminder that behind the lights and applause were real people facing real life. Kelly inhaled, steadying herself as the gravity of the moment settled over them. Together, they navigated the uncharted territory of personal revelation, broadcast to millions, finding strength not in performance, but in presence, honesty, and courage. "I wish you had told me before the show," Kelly murmured, her voice trembling yet clear. "I know," Mark replied, voice breaking softly. But if I had, I don't think I could have followed through. I needed to honor the moment, even if it hurts. The honesty struck her like a quiet thunderbolt, and she felt an overwhelming mixture of respect and heartache. The cameras continued to roll, yet the studio faded into the background. Only the truth mattered now. The vulnerability, the courage to step into it, and the shared acknowledgement of what they had built together. This moment was not scripted, not polished, not rehearsed. It was simply human, a raw testament to the power of transparency and love in the face of life's inevitable shifts. Facing the audience, Kelly reached for Mark's hand, holding it tightly, grounding herself even as the tears continued to fall. She addressed the viewers, her voice steady despite the emotion. "The audience deserves the truth, and so do you," she said softly. Mark straightened his posture, turning to the cameras with a quiet dignity. "This show has been a beautiful part of my life, but sometimes life calls us to pay attention to what matters most. For me, that's my family." The audience erupted in applause, moved by the authenticity of what they witnessed. Kelly's voice cracked as she added, "Live is more than a show. It's a family. And even when one of us steps away, the family remains." The shared sentiment of gratitude, love, and respect flowed through the room, uniting them in an unspoken understanding. A shared goodbye. The moment stretched, intimate and fragile, as they leaned on each other, letting the cameras capture the unscripted farewell. Mark whispered his love, and Kelly whispered hers back, a simple exchange that spoke volumes. The stage manager signaled for a commercial break, but Kelly shook her head. "Leave the cameras," she said softly. "People deserve to see this. It's real." Mark nodded, moved by her courage. They stayed entwined, holding the shared history and acknowledging the transition, allowing the audience to witness the humanity behind the glitz. The hum of the lights, once ordinary, now felt like a comforting lull, a backdrop to their quiet, profound exchange. In that space, both the personal and public converged, leaving an indelible mark of authenticity. A quiet moment. The studio lights hummed above them, a gentle reminder of all the mornings spent here together. Kelly leaned into Mark, holding him in a quiet embrace, letting the silence speak. The cameras rolled, yet the world outside faded, leaving only the truth they had chosen to share. In that moment, everything felt suspended: time, expectation, and performance. It was a private truth made public, a shared vulnerability that transcended entertainment. The applause from the audience was soft, reverent, a recognition not just of their careers but of their humanity. This was a reminder that beyond every show, every spotlight lies a story of love, courage, and authenticity, and that those are the moments worth remembering. An evolution of connection. Kelly and Mark's hands remained intertwined as they prepared to continue the show, not as performers alone, but as people who had chosen honesty above all else. The audience understood. It was a shared recognition of the significance of the moment. Life would continue, shows would go on, and cameras would keep rolling. But what they had revealed was timeless. They had shown that love, commitment, and courage often come in quiet, difficult choices, and that sometimes the bravest act is simply telling the truth. Studio 67, with all its hums, lights, and familiar corners, had witnessed a transformation. What started as a shocking confession had become a lesson in presence, patience, and unwavering human connection, leaving everyone, on set and at home, deeply moved and inspired. The heart of the moment. As the day continued, the energy shifted from a shock to reflection. Kelly and Mark had revealed the power of authenticity, showing that even in public, vulnerability is not weakness, but strength. The audience and crew witnessed a rare and sacred truth: the intersection of life and work, love and duty, courage and compassion. Their story reminded everyone that the most important moments are not scripted, polished, or rehearsed. They are lived deeply, fully, and honestly. Kelly and Mark's connection, resilient and tender, had been laid bare, proving that even in transition, love persists. The studio hummed, the cameras captured, and a chapter closed beautifully, not with a dramatic finale, but with human hearts fully present, embracing the complexity and tenderness of life together.